radio, because the rest is just a waste of time.
What a way to get the night started. Welcome to the fastest show on the internet. If it has a motor and goes fast, you know we're going to cover it. Every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. only on chaoticradio.com. This is the one and only Kaotic Motorsports show with yours truly, Chappie, and my co-host, The Axe, Willie Axton. What's up?
Back at it. Here we go.
What's our number?
Number 2, week 2.
909-360-8330, but it is week 2, so technically he's right. He's having trouble with the new number, folks, and if you're having trouble with the new number, here it is one more time, 909-360-8330 to call in and talk motorsports. That's the only number you need to call for the next hour and every day 24/7 here at chaoticradio.com. Tonight, talking F1, IndyCar, NHRA, the National Hot Rod Association invades Pomona for the 57th Winter Nationals this weekend. NASCAR, of course, and the local scene. We always cover the local scene. Anything you want covered here at chaoticradio.com, Chaotic Motorsports, make sure you call us up, and we'll interview that driver or cover that sport. And basically whatever else you guys want to talk about and hit on in the world of motorsports. Tonight's guest, we're just going to tease you a little bit, but he's the host of Score and Off-Road Nights and much, much more. Our first X Games medalist on the show tonight, so there's another clue. The Axe, I know you're itching. We didn't give you enough time last week. You got F1 news, NASCAR, 24 hours of Daytona. Take it away. It's your mic.
Well, for Formula One, I want to go into Pascal Wehrlein, the Race of Champions. I don't know if you saw that, but he had a pretty nasty crash in his Polaris Slingshot, which is that three-wheeled car that he drives there.
Yeah, explain to everybody what that race was and what that is. I did see the crash, but most people don't know what that Polaris Slingshot is, so explain that first.
So basically the race was like for, Alexander Rossi was there. It's called the Race of Champions. All these big racers come out and just race there, and it's kind of for fun, like everyone's out there, but it's a competition too between all those guys. It's not really for points or anything like that, but it's just pretty much for fun and for competition. But the Polaris Slingshot has one wheel in the back, two wheels up front. It's a three-wheeled car, or motorcycle as you could call it, either one. And he was just coming out of the last corner, and I believe he was racing Sebastian Vettel, and he just lost control, hit the center divider, and then that just sent him tumbling from there, and he took a nasty crash into the turn 1.
So big names of the sport of F1
Huge
and
names.
Open Wheel are entered in this race. Is
this
a big thing every year?
Every year, yeah. Alexander Rossi was there, Sebastian Vettel was there, Pascal Wehrlein, who is now with Sauber with Marcus Ericsson. So that's going to be really interesting to see.
I'm gonna call them tricycles. I think these guys are racing tricycles.
Tricycles has two wheel in the back, one wheel up front. So it's a reverse tricycle.
Okay, but a tricycle.
Tricycle's a tricycle.
Is three. It doesn't matter what order those things are.
True.
But everybody's okay. Are we cool on the crash? Is he going to be all right?
Well, Sauber said, a lot of speculations were just rumors like, oh, is he going to make it for preseason testing? Is he going to make it for this? A lot of people saying no. A lot of people saying yeah. Sauber released a comment saying he's still going through, observations with the medical teams, and he's still, recovering a little bit. But they're saying he probably should be fine, but they're going to let us know later in the week, later in the incoming months. So we're going to see if he'll probably be fine. The way it sounds from Sauber, there doesn't seem to be much urgency, but, they're keeping it kind of a secret, but they just want to make sure before they say something.
Well, and number one, making sure the driver's okay, the safety and health, first of all. But second of all, that's going to come into play the contracts of these drivers. So if you're under contract with Haas, I don't know if you're allowed to go race tricycles on the weekends in the off-season. Are you, Willie?
I mean, hey, you could if you want. Sauber obviously, said go for it, so he went for it. He did it. Unfortunately, I mean, no team, when you're going to do something for fun, thinks like, oh, hey, you're going to get in a huge crash and you just got to jeopardize, you being here for us. No one thinks that, but, it could happen. such as Sergio Perez racing at the Supernats, I'm
Right.
pretty sure he went to Force India and was like, hey, is it all right if I do this? And they weren't thinking like, oh, you're going to get in a huge wreck and hurt yourself, and he didn't. So, it was good. He's back in the F1 car, and he'll be back there February 26th is the start of the preseason testing. So he'll be back there, but Verline probably will too. I'm not worried about him.
And when's our first F1 race of the year? When do we get it? Because they tend to get it started a little bit later in the year than most everybody else.
So we have it at Australia, Melbourne, March 26th.
Not till March. So
Yeah.
End of March. So
March
we can
26th.
talk about this for a while.
Yeah, March 26th. So it'll be a while. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. It's going to be fun.
Well, you're always fired up for your F1, and we covered it last week, but for those of you just returning to Kaotic Motorsports on chaoticradio.com, the Axe, Willie Axon, he's a shifter kart driver, a member of the USA Junior Olympic Volleyball team out of Costa Mesa. He joined the show a year and a half ago, and was a contributor to F1 and was just so damn good. We just had to give him more airtime. And let's face it, folks, he gives you the scoop you're not going to get if you just Google it. We really do have our correspondents on this show dig for the information. Let's face it, nowadays anybody could Google something.
Oh, that's true.
We're going to try to give you the late breaking news. And myself being an announcer, I go to these different events and can actually talk to these drivers, crew chiefs, team owners, and actually give the scoop before it's even a PR release. So listen to the show, and we promise to give you some breaking news before you hear it anywhere else.
Before I forget, who's your pick for Melbourne, Australia? First race.
In F1?
F1.
I can't go Nico, right?
Obviously not.
And I'm not going to go with pretty boy with the earrings that doesn't know how to parallel park in Monaco.
That would be Lewis Hamilton.
After a night at the clubs. And I know you're going to take my other guy, Vettel, who I've been taking since we've been doing this show. So I'm going to go with the kid, the phenom, the boy wonder, Max Verstappen.
Wow. Hey, and if you have any predictions, call in 909-360-8330 with your predictions for the first race.
One more time on that number.
909-360-8330.
Speaking of predictions, and we love to do that on this show for the bragging rights, but this year we're going to throw a little extra spice on that, little frosting on the cake, if you will, with all of our connections. And we're going to start it right now and we'll do something with F1 for each race. But how about for the Daytona 500 going to NASCAR real quick?
Good Lord.
If anybody wants to call in on this number leading up to NASCAR, Daytona 500, we have a few weeks to go, a few shows left. 909-360-8330. Give us your pick, your name and number off the air. We'll keep track of the picks. And you're going to a drift night on Chappie at Adams Motorsports Park. That's a fun night. And also a 4-pack to Irwindale Raceway in beautiful Irwindale and enjoy a night of NASCAR action. So there you go, just for picking the right NASCAR Daytona 500 winner. So
make your picks.
Daytona 500, let's get it going right now. Willie Axton, who's your pick?
Oof, gosh. I mean, I don't want to be a bandwagoner, but I feel like Johnson would have a good chance. But at the same time, I'm kind of debating between, I might go Johnson, because why the hell not?
So the 48 for the Axe, he is last year's
champion,
defending champion, and the 7-time champion.
Yes.
And I will go with Martin Truex Jr., who had a great season last year and was shut out of the chase. But Martin Truex Jr. will win the Daytona 500, folks. So if any callers want to call in and actually take Axe or my picks, you just have to take us to Drift or to Irwindale.
Exactly.
No, we'll give away our winning.
Spotter over here. Guess Logano.
Oh, some other guy that you always bring with you says sliced bread. Joey Logano. Okay, so there we go. So call in one more time on that number, and they can call in and make their predictions in the next few weeks.
Yep. 909-360-8330.
Real quick in IndyCar news, I know you got more stuff, but I got this in my notes. Smoke, Tony Stewart, coming back to the Brickyard, but no, he's not going to be driving next year. The 101st Indy 500. He won't be behind the wheel, but his foundation will sponsor the 77 car, the third entry, I believe, for Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports. 101st running of the Indy 500 as part of the Team One Cure Initiative to benefit the Colorado State University Flint Animal Cancer Center. So, Smoke, man, he's good for the sport, and he's great
good
for motorsports.
He is.
And good to have a legend like that as part of Indianapolis 500.
Correct. Well, and jumping back to NASCAR really quick,
There you go.
I want to go over to Danica Patrick. I don't know if you heard, but her
Does
sponsor.
anyone notice I crash a lot? That's what Danica stands for.
I'm telling you this right now. Her sponsor, we talked about this, when we were last on the air, left her, that natural grain sponsor, those little fig bars, as Blaine used to call them. So they left her, and apparently Stuart Haas is pushing to sue him. So
Wow,
Big
sponsors
case.
leave her faster than Tiger Woods.
yeah,
I think she'd get sponsored by like Pick Apart or like a body shop.
Oh,
a
damn.
paint and body shop.
That's
Robert,
just ruthless.
Robert Early, you have a paint and body shop, like an Earl Scheib type deal.
that's just
I mean,
ruthless.
she's in a crash every lap. You,
mean, hey,
you
that's-
need to be sponsored by
that's-
Pick Apart.
Well, that's pretty true.
Sorry, Danica, but not really. Win a race and
Then we'll
get
talk.
some respect on this show.
Yeah,
Go back to open wheel. You almost won the Indy 500 that year.
right.
Come on, Danica.
So we're going back to Formula One here. I don't know if you heard, but McLaren is
Probably a good decision.
McLaren is moving so-called from their silver to orange. They're going to like the orange. Yeah,
I like the silver.
I know. I love the silver, but apparently they're going to their orange. Little glossy, bright, really bright, almost neon orange. So,
I knew the 80s were coming back.
oh yeah, they're coming.
Greatest decade ever. It's coming back.
Well, and like their new car they named all their cars have been named like the MP for this, the MP for that. They're moving away from that, and their new car, which they came out with, is called the MCL 32. So, I mean, we'll see.
That doesn't even sound racier fast.
I mean, it doesn't, but with Fernando Alonso behind the wheel, who knows what could happen.
There you go.
He'll make it fast. All right, so Chappie, we always do our quizzes here at Formula One Talk. I got some nicknames for you, and I want to throw some out there for you.
All right,
You ready?
I'm pretty good at giving nicknames and inventing
Exactly, you're the nickname king, so let's see.
I'd like to think I'm pretty good at knowing my nicknames, but if you're throwing F1 on me, I mean, you are the F1 genius. I'll do the best I can. Throw them at me. I like a good challenge.
All right, I'll give you an easy one, the first one. Easy one. Ready? Here we go. The Iceman.
I'll go with Kimi.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Vicodin.
It's not hard to really see why he was, got the name Iceman.
Ice water running through his blood.
Exactly, but Ron Dennis, rather, who was at McLaren when he was at McLaren, gave him that nickname. So that's pretty funny that he got that.
Probably one of the classic nicknames of all time.
Oh, all time. Well, you should be able to get this one. Little older, you should still be able to get it though. The Rat.
Our guest at 640?
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
A little older, you're right. I should be getting anything with the word old in it. The Rat.
The Rat, James Hunt.
Oh, I was going to go Jackie Stewart.
No,
'cause he
it's
kinda
not.
looks
It's
like
not
a rat.
James Hunt. He was rivals with James Hunt.
Oh, then James
Oh,
Hunt.
come
Who
on.
was James Hunt's
Come
rival? I saw the movie.
Oh, you got this.
I saw the movie.
Need some help.
Yeah, I need it.
Nicky Lauda.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Oh, come
Okay,
on.
that's a good rap. No, he's a good rap, but so's Jackie Stewart with that hat.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. He was also named, King Rat, Super Rat because he was so damn good in that Ferrari. So,
Anybody that looks like a rat should just be called the Rat, and you're in the Rat Pack.
all right, you know what? Last one because
I'm one
we're
for
struggling
two.
over here. We're
I'm
1 for 2. You're struggling.
I'm
You're struggling.
50%.
Oh, here we go. Let's see if you get this one. Ready? The Professor.
Jerry Henderson.
Oh,
Rest in peace.
Okay.
No, that's 2 out of 3. That's it.
Oh,
There's only
okay.
one professor. or Warren Johnson, pro stalker in NHRA. That's
Formula
it.
One.
Moving
Formula
right
One
along.
professor.
Okay, who's the professor in F1?
Alan Prost.
All right.
Come on.
I knew you'd get me beat in F1. All right. Hey, on a sad note, my buddy Ken Manning, local kart racer, you know Ken,
Yep.
texted me during the Tri-C race. Tri-C, by the way, had a great race. They're a local kart club. We pumped it up last week. I announced for them along with the Los Angeles Karting Championship at Fontana at Cal Speed, a go-kart track outside of Turn 4 of Auto Club Speedway up there in Fontucky, as we like to call it, Felony Flats. And they had a great race, Tri-C Karters, over the weekend, over 100 turnout. And Ken Manning texted me during the race. We weren't able to do a moment of silence. It was a little late in the race program. I couldn't squeeze that in. But thank you, Ken, for texting me. And we lost a member of our racing family. Lee Hatch passed away Friday. 49 years old, way too young to the dreaded cancer. Former ASA speed truck champion from Rancho Cucamonga right here.
Yep.
Local racers, 0-2 Rookie of the Year and a 2-time champion, as we said. So thoughts and prayers. And
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and we'll see you up there at the racetrack up above.
Yes, sir.
Lee Hatch, we remember you well, and one talent out there on the racetrack.
Yep. So, on a more, let's say, brighter note,
Sure.
back into Formula One, Esteban Gutierrez, Kevin Magnussen's coming in for him at Haas.
Okay.
So, I just want to go over real quick, your opinion real quick. Do you think this is a good choice for Haas to get rid of Esteban and put in Kevin Magnussen?
I'm going to say yes, but I don't have as much
Mhm.
knowledge as you on this
Yeah.
one. I think Magnussen might have more experience and might be better for that position to run. Where it's going to still be two drivers on that team.
Still drivers, yeah.
It sounds like a better mix, and the Hulk's been in it for a while.
Mhm.
So
Well, and the thing that I kind of looked at is that I looked at all the points and stuff that Haas got, and Roman Grosjean got all of Haas's points. Esteban never got any points for Haas.
right.
So
I thought he got a few, but nothing.
no, he got
Okay.
nothing. It was all Grosjean.
Some
so
good finishes. It
yeah,
was
good
all
finishes,
Grosjean.
but yeah, it was all Grosjean for the points anyway. 21 points in total.
Talking F1 with Willie Axton, the Axe, and Chappie on chaoticradio.com. Kaotic Motorsports, if you're just tuning in, and we're talking F1.
Yep. And so what I was saying is that, when you put in a guy like Kevin Magnussen in for Esteban Gutierrez, I think the experience level, in a sense, is, somewhat of equality because they've both been in the F1 car. They both know what's up. They both know what's going on. So I think the experience level is the same. But just the fact that, Haas saw that, Esteban wasn't really working as well. So they said, why not? Let's give it a go. It couldn't hurt. You can't score, 0 points when you've already scored 0 points. It's a no harm situation. No harm, no foul. So just give it a go.
I think it's a move in the right direction. Any word, any scoop on where Gutierrez goes?
No scoop on where Gutierrez goes. He's said to be kind of a free agent right now. And, all the teams are pretty – he might not even, come back because, all the teams are starting to make their picks, if not made their picks. So
a guy like that in that situation, if he doesn't get the phone call, where do you end up doing? Does somebody else call you? Do you go run a different series?
I mean,
you go run Super V8s?
Yeah.
You go run –
I would
there's
probably
plenty
run-
of races you can go race. It's not
Well, I mean, you could probably go to the Australian V8 Supercar Series,
go.
something like that, or, just something along the lines of Formula One. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to, you don't really see Formula One drivers go back down to GP2, or maybe he could go try and run, Formula E like Kobayashi did. Kamui Kobayashi.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. There's a lot more opportunities now for young drivers.
Exactly.
Look at some of our kart racers like Christian Brooks just signing a new deal to run GRC lights.
Exactly.
I mean, you can go rally.
Alejandro
you can go
Fernandez,
rally.
all those guys.
There's
So
a lot, and he's young. Gutierrez is young.
yes,
And
very young.
We'll hear and see of him more on the podium.
Oh no, for sure. We'll probably see him back in Formula One, in years to come. So, it's not over yet. With guys retiring like Nico Rosberg, like unexpected retirements like that. When Nico Rosberg just said, "Oh, I'm done," it put everyone into a frenzy. So it kind of got crazy. So, who knows? I mean, something could happen like that again with Fernando Alonso. Who knows?
You're right. Hey, speaking of the big guys, and we didn't get enough to hit on it, and we'll come back after the break as well, but tell us a little bit. Let's get into a little bit before our guest comes on at about 6:40. So about a minute and a half right now, and then when we come back from the break.
Yeah.
You went to Supernats, the biggest kart race in
yes.
the world in Vegas. Tell the fans what that's like, and I want to get into your brain a little bit on your feelings because you've been to a lot of kart races, and you also had an incident there, so we need to talk about that. But give a little intro on SCUSA Supernats, what it's even about, and who shows up.
Well, SCUSA Supernats is one of the biggest races in the world, you could say. It's the stage. That's what every driver looks to go to. Some guy just can't show up and say, "Hey, I just want to race." You got to be known. You got to be distinguished in your club. You got to have people vouch for you. You have to be good to go there. So it's some 80 some odd number of the top drivers in the world. Sergio Perez obviously came there. There was Connor Daly, Alexander Rossi, who won the Indy 500 last year.
The best of the best.
Exactly, the best of the best. So, it was, for me going there, my dad kind of told me, he goes, you know what, John Martin and iCart kind of hooked us up with a chassis and whatnot and said, we're going. We'd love to have you go. And it was my first Supernats. So I was like, a little nervous. My dad told me about it, and he's like, let's give it a go. Let's see what's happening. So, I went, and, it was a great experience, and we'll get back more into it after the break, but, it was great.
Why don't you bring us to commercial on your way out while we can't drive 55 in Vegas?
Well, Chaotic listeners, don't go away. We'll be right back. We got a lot more to talk about. For Chappie, I'm the Axe. We'll see you after the break.
One foot on the brake and one on the gas.
Radio. In that order.
All right, we are unchained and we are back. Chaotic Motorsports, chaoticradio.com. Show number 2 on the re-debut, the return in 2017 with my co-host, the Axe, Willie Axton. We were talking about Las Vegas going to the break, but we have breaking news. We told you our correspondents were always on it for Chaotic Motorsports, and we have breaking news. The Axe, go right into it. Take the mic. What do we got?
Well,
F1.
Breaking news regarding F1. Longtime McLaren team manager Dave Redding is to leave his job, working outfit, for the new job at Formula One squad at Williams. So he's leaving McLaren, going to Williams, and this just in as of couple minutes ago actually. So we got it right when it came out. So
huge team news, major factor with major teams in F1.
Yeah.
Wow, you heard it here first from the Axe, F1 correspondent. Chaotic Motorsports, chaoticradio.com.
Well, and
wow.
this is also on top of losing Ron Dennis. So they're losing people left and right. Good God, McLaren's just falling apart, it seems, over there.
Is there more to read to this than what we're being told or what we know in the public? That when you lose that many big names, there could be something going on internally.
I mean, as of right now, it's all rumors pretty much, but there's nothing really regarding anything bad happening. So it seems like he's just leaving just for a better job. Unhappiness maybe. So we'll see. I mean, it's interesting, but we'll see that unfold. We'll be back next week.
Wow, I thought everybody was unhappy at their job except me. I just thought that was a normal thing, except for my deal. I got a good deal going on now.
Oh man,
I still can't believe how much money they pay me to come do this show. Mike, you got my check for tonight, right? Thanks, buddy. He doesn't have his headset on, but he loves motorsports, and if he has any questions about drag racing this weekend at the Winter Nationals.
Oh, yeah.
The 57th. And I'm going to throw in my predictions real quick. How can you not take Antron in Top Fuel? He's just a beast. But watch out for the ladies. Papa John's, Leah Pritchett, and the Papa John's, she'll deliver. Just went record time in testing. They're testing out in Arizona, and I believe also at the testing out in Bradenton, Florida at the track. And also Monster Energy, Brittany Force.
Yeah.
So watch out for the ladies. They've really been coming on strong in NHRA. In funny car, I got to go with my boy Ron Capps. Finally won his first championship last year.
Yes,
Napa know-how. And John Force, Brute Force, 17-time champ? 16?
Yeah, about that.
Champ?
17, I'm pretty sure.
My calculator doesn't go up that high. He's got the Proc back. He's got the Proc rocket. Jimmy Proc is back from the hated one, DSR, Don Schumacher Racing. So he's got his crew chief back. Watch out for Force to be a force in 2017. And in Pro Stock, I mean, Jason Line and Greg Anderson, the Summit team cars were so tough last year, but there's a lot of up-and-comers. But watch out for Erica Enders, another lady. She's switching back to Chevy. Yeah. So if you guys aren't doing anything this weekend, I will not be there, and we're going to need some scoop. And if you guys are there, please call in next week and give me some NHRA scoop out at Pomona this Thursday through Sunday. And Friday's a great day to go because you get 2 rounds of qualifying. It's not that crowded, and you get to see everybody twice, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Guaranteed.
So even if they have a bad run, you get to see all your favorite drivers 2 times. So it's qualifying twice on Friday.
And they recently,
the rookies need the earplugs. Us pros don't. So, anyways, NHRA this weekend. Waiting for our guest to call in. He's coming any minute, and it looks like it might be him right now. This is going to be pretty cool. I know you studied this guy a little bit. Longtime buddy of mine out at this magical place at the Colorado River named Aha Quinn. And just recently, through the wonders of social media, I touched base with them, and he's really making a big move on the off-road scene. He's your live host at Score International, the founder of Off-Road Nights, promoter, host, announcer, event organizer. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. He's also at X Games, I believe our first X Games guest we've had on the show, a double gold medalist. and so much more. We're going to fill you in on them. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the one and only Rat Salt. Rat, what's up, buddy?
To hear from you.
One more time, buddy. I was late on the mute button there. Rookie mistake, but Rat Salt.
No worries.
We heard you.
Wait, let me hit replay. Rewind. Chappie, what's happening, buddy? Long time no talk. What's going on?
That was perfect. It's good to have a real professional on the air. Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time. We tried to get you on the show last year, but we have such busy schedules. We appreciate you coming on tonight, man. Let's just start it off with what do you do? Tell the Kaotic Nation what you do. They probably most of them have probably heard you down there at the Lucas Oil Off Road or Score or any of that stuff, along there with your buddy Dave Arnold and all that.
Yeah, just some good things going on. You know, we're gearing up for the San Felipe 250 coming up at the end of March. That's big things. You know, we got for the Score, those of you that follow all the off-road, the whole Score series. This year is going to be our 50th anniversary, so super stoked on that. So a lot of big things. I'm working with Score, Roger, Norman, the whole crew. We're really taking things to the next level on that side of things. So excited to that. I do the live hosting. We do the live show, as we talked about before, and you could watch that. You could get our app on the Score app or score-international.com. And, yeah, off-road nights like you talked about, you got to come out this year. It's August 5th. It's a Temecula Promenade. You know, last year we just blew it up, over 150 vendors. We had Robbie Gordon drifting his trophy truck around the live band, jamming. This is the mall parking lot, Chappie. You know how we do it. We've been going to the river forever. We party. I bring some really good off-road events, and that one's coming up August 5th. So, yeah, some big things this year.
Yeah, I remember seeing the footage on that last year. I was out of town, unfortunately, and that's the tough thing. I'd love to come do some just to come hang out with you and jump on the mic, not even a paying gig, and just make it better for the fans. And that's what you do, and that's a lot of what we do. And that one of the things, you know, growing up with you, I wasn't really in your clique at the river. I had my slow-ass XR75 silver gas tank, and you probably had one of them XR80s. But you were one of the legends out there at the river. And that's what announcers do. Our job is, like the great Larry Huffman told me, the original announcer of Supercross, your job is the two E's, energize them and educate them. And you do a great job at that with Score. I've checked out some of your YouTube and stuff. And tell me, I mean, is that like your dream job? I mean, you got to be having a blast down there doing that. I mean, you go down to Baja, you go all over the place.
Honestly, yeah, I love doing it. You know, it's not only just going down there and being able to be on the mic for contingency, and we're doing qualifying for all of our races this year, which is cool. So it's a whole extra day of racing. So there's that. But this year, you know my dad, Papa Gary, he's going to be down there. He's actually already there.
Is Gary listening right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get a hold. I actually was going to call and tell him because he's got a big clique down there at Pete's Camp.
Hey, we'll podcast it for him. We'll podcast it for him.
Yeah, exactly. We'll hook him up. But he's down there in Mexico waiting for me, so I got to go down a little early, going to do some pre-running. So it's pretty much the whole lifestyle. So, yeah, my dream job is, you know, with all the racing I've done, the off-road racing, you know, that's the one thing. I don't get a race, not at least in the Score series, so it makes it pretty rough on that side of things. But I love pumping everybody else up. It's a fun time.
Right, and I know that's in your blood because that's why I was so shocked when I found you on Facebook a few years back that you were this deep in the announcing thing and so far forward. I'm like, man, I thought I was probably the only guy from Quinn that ended up behind a microphone because all these guys ended up being drivers. I mean, look what Quinn produces. I mean, we got sand drag world record holders, boat drags, you know, Rat Salt, X Games. We haven't even got into that yet. And you're behind the mic. And, I mean, I know you got to be itching to go racing. So let's get into that. Do you go enter any races? And is your racing career, are you totally retired? Or do you still go get dirty a little bit behind the wheel?
Oh, no, I'm never going to retire. Come on, man. Still charging. No, actually, a partner of mine I've raced with for years, Joe Holler, he may be listening, just built a brand new, just bad to the bone 12 car, all the newest stuff. So hopefully you get to race some more races or a couple of snore races or something throughout the year in my time in between. And still been racing, you know, even since I think we talked, you know, doing the X Games, did that stuff, but I actually raced for Kawasaki. I I soloed the 1,000 in 2009, and a Class 2 car got second place. So still sticking with it, still trying to at least race a couple times a year. But I love, like it's like you said, we hooked up on social media. It's so cool to see all the stuff. You've kind of always been into it. I knew that with the skiing and that, and great to see you taking it to the next level. But I kind of fell into it. Just, it's just from, I host the TV show X-Core, and just kind of always talked to Roger Norman, said, hey, I would love to come host it. And just doing a bunch of other things. And the last year and a half, 2 years, it's just taken off. I mean, I do Lake Elsinore Grand Prix, Jump Champs.
Right.
Doing some Monster Energy stuff. So lots of other things pop up,
And it's not like when you were 19 years old, you ever thought, yeah, I'm going to be an announcer. I never thought this. It almost kind of just happened, and you're just riding that wave, and what a great ride it is.
Exact. But have I changed? Who threw the parties at the river? Who was always the first guy telling everybody where the fire was on the hill? Come on.
You were the man, and then when you finally left Aha Quinn, and another legend overtook your same residence, my friend, Mr. John Stroop. I know he's listening. He's a kart racing and race legend down there, John Stroop. But the Rat Salt place was the place you needed to go. I'd usually bring down some blender ingredients. And when you left, always. I tried to do my best up there at spot 221 up there at Aha Quinn. You know that.
You always kept it going too. We both did. That's what you said. If I wasn't going to your party, you were coming to mine. We were rocking it.
or there would have been both in one night. Depending on you usually had the better ladies though over at your house.
We had some good parties. You know what? I want to touch on this.
Is this
cool.
motorsports talk?
Going up. Oh, absolutely. Going up on the hill. Now I'm into some side-by-side stuff, hooked up with Robbie Gordon, going to be doing some stuff. Hopefully, can't really let anything out, but doing some stuff with the Arctic Cat. I don't know if you've seen the new ones. Robbie Gordon Motorsports hooked up. They teamed up. They got the baddest, hands down. It's a mini race car,
right?
And it's going to be sweet. It's coming out. It's called the Speedster 77 or Speedster. It's got a new name, but it's coming out mid-year.
Okay, we're going to be looking.
Who was
the
first? Yeah. So you know what? Where did golf carts before they lifted them? On the hill in Aha Quinn. I've never seen it. Took off right there. Brian Shalene, like you said,
sure.
So many people.
Tilly, Shalene, you.
Yeah,
you guys are the fab geniuses. You guys started all this. I mean, and both those guys are running famous businesses. I think the PBR off-road truck, Shalene he's been a guest on the show. That thing's for sale right now for $170,000. So we need to get our chaotic money together and let's go racing. But yeah, you're right. I mean, what a magical place that Aha Quinn is. But getting back into it, your racing career, let's go back to the early days. And I know we cover motorsports, but it's still freaking racing, and it's awesome. And I was always jealous of you. I remember when I went to the Aha Quinn store, and I had a picture of me going like elbow slalom in a tournament, and then right next to my picture was Rat Salt's action figure. I've never had an action figure, and the Axe, Willie Axon, doesn't have one either, but he wants one. But my partner, my co-host, Willie Axe, he races a shifter cart. You got to come out here and try his shifter cart, dude. Man. He wants to invite you out.
Oh, it's so much fun.
That's an invite?
Oh, yeah.
A date, it's on.
But he wants to go off-road racing with you. But
hell yeah.
He's got some X Games question, man. We got to cover X Games.
We'll trade off.
Well, hey, man, I read that you did a little bit of luge here and there, and I'm telling you right now, I watch those luge guys, and I don't know what possesses you to do something like that, but that's crazy. Like, what got you into that?
You know what's crazy? Everybody's kind of heard of gravity skateboards. They're worldwide now. A couple of friends of mine, Mike Bream and Chris Taylor, they started this. They said, you know what? There was no longboard companies out there. They started it. Long story short, they cut a couple out in the garage. They said, you know what? There's a skateboard race at San Dimas right there. I'm the racer. I race downhill skateboards. This is before the skateboards. Downhill mountain bikes. And they said, hey, we want to go check out this race. I said, give me one. I put on my off-road helmet, went and scared myself to death on a couple hills. I said, I'm your guy. And that was it. We took my box van. I took to all the races, so we were all legit, put some gravity stickers on there, and that was it. The first time I went, I borrowed a street luge, and a few races later, we heard the X Games was coming up and qualified for that. But it was kind of just got, and you know what, my dad actually, and a chap, you know, my old man Gary, he's a drag racer, skydiver, maniac, the first action sports guy. He kind of pushed me into it.
One of the coolest dads ever.
Yeah, he goes, this X Games, and nobody knew what it was. You know, they're like, what is this thing? You know,
it was all brand new.
We got to get you one of these. Yeah, so we built one and went and qualified, and it just kind of took off and traveled the world, was able to, you know, for a handful of years, go all over and meet some great people and make some good memories. So I'm just super blessed, super lucky, and to be able to pull that off. But it was just kind of luck. It just kind of just handed itself to me, and I just happened to be on the basement floor of the new generation because they've been doing it. Roger Hickey, those guys.
Yeah, but when you look back, when you see X Games now every year, you got to be proud and look back at that and go, I was one of the pioneers. You were the trailblazer.
Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, is what I think about is how I can get into it with more motorsports. Robbie Gordon a couple of years ago had the Stadium Super Trucks. I announced that, and I want to get in something. And I'm not done. So yeah, I definitely love when I see it. I miss it. But I don't really think about that. I'm actually more of just forging on. Just
right.
I just don't feel like I'm done. I don't know. So I feel like my biggest accomplishments are yet to come. And I think that's a good way to live life.
Yeah, I think that's good advice for anybody. And whether you want to be an announcer, a racer, a janitor, a trash can collector, whatever. I mean, be the best at what you're going to do and have a passion for it, right? That's your message.
Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much. You know, it's weird. Like a lot of people, they just kind of quit doing what they love doing. I recently got a new mountain bike. I got the Stoke back. I'm like, any free second, I'm trying to go ride. It's like, I think that's what you need in your life. I think, you know, young people that are listening or anybody that feels like, you know what, God, he did all this cool stuff. You know why I did all that cool stuff? Because I basically just got up off my ass and I went and did it and made it happen. And when you go do those things, it's just the best. Even going for, you know, you don't have to do the X Games, but even getting a mountain bike, going for a ride, you got to push yourself to it. But once you do it, you're doing cool things. And
you know what,
no matter
Rat,
what it is, you got to have things to look forward to.
You know what, Rat? That's a great point. And if there's any young kids, male or female, listening right now, there's a lot of stuff you can do. And like Rat just said, you don't have to go be an X Games champion, but damn it, get off the couch and you can always play video games. And Willie, you're a younger kid.
Oh yeah.
You know, tell these kids like what Rat just said. I mean, get out there and go do things. There's a lot of stuff you can do and getting fit and have a lot of good fun and meet a lot of good people doing it.
You know, Rat said it perfectly. Just get off the couch. Go do something. You want to go do something, make it happen. You know, it's not going to come and show up on your doorstep. Go out and get it. Don't sit on the couch and be like, oh, hey, that's going to come to me. Because nothing ever comes to you in life. That's just how it is. So go out and get it. Get what you want.
And everything's so available to us,
Exactly.
no matter what it is. Whether if you want to do the video production or you want to go ride mountain bikes, you can go up. Mike Metzger, I don't know if you guys know. You should get a hold of him. He's got his new shop up there, Metzger Mountain Bikes. He tunes mountain bikes. He rents them. You can go up there for a small fee. He'll take you up and you can go ride. And I mean, there's just so many options to go out and do these action sports, these fun things. So look into it. You know, the Google's out there. If you're looking into something, say, how could I get into? And you know what? Look me up. Look me up on Instagram, Rat Salt. If you have any questions, I'll point you in the right direction. Doesn't matter who you are or what you're looking for.
And you're a real approachable guy. If anybody's at the races, they can pretty much come up to you unless you're busy interviewing Robbie Gordon or somebody. I mean, you're going to talk to them and steer them in the right direction, answer questions. If I'm a dad coming up with my little girl, 12 years old, and want to get involved in racing, you're going to steer me in the right direction, right?
Absolutely. I love doing that. You know, I don't know if it's called mentoring or I don't want to call myself that, but I love pointing people in the right direction. Doesn't matter if they're kids or older. Everybody's always looking for something. A lot of people get bored in life. There's so many opportunities to do so many cool things. Kayaking, you can go down and rent kayaks. You can go out on the beach. Just so many fun things that are out of your realm that is just right at your fingertips with the internet these days. So don't be bored. Don't be a humdrum person that sits at home on the couch and watches other people have fun. Just go out and do it, you know, to the best of your ability. I'm not saying you got to do the crazy stuff, but you know, you can go ride with people if you have to.
And find something you like. It doesn't have to be motorsports, but that's a great message. We didn't plan on going that route, but that's a great route to go and a good message. We're talking to Rat Solt. He's the host of Score International, founder Off-Road Nights. He's a double X Games gold medalist. Competed in the Winter X Games. He's got a pretty long resume. Getting a little personal on the personal side, what do you do when you just don't want to interview anybody and don't want to talk on the mic and don't want to be at the racetrack to go chill? Do you just go riding the mountain bike, go for a walk on the beach, go surfing? What do you like to do? Hobbies?
That's it, mountain bike. That's my newest love. But yeah, just mountain bike. And it's weird when you're out and you're traveling, as you know, you're going and doing all this stuff. It's cool to just be in my shop right here at my house,
right
out in the garage. If I'm not riding something, I want to be tuning it. I got a new dirt bike, so I've been trying to do that. A good Ride for Life. A little shout out to those guys coming up mid-August. RideForLife.com. You can check out their poker run at Akatia.
Okay.
Getting a bunch of us going out to that. But yeah, just getting people together, going and riding, doing anything I can, skating, whatever it is to get away from everybody, but just go out and do my fun things.
Do you find yourself, I know I've seen you just walking the pits doing your thing at Lucas Oil Off-Road. It was great to run into you down there last year at the end of the season. Do you find yourself, do you have a favorite form of motorsports? Do you have a favorite driver of all time, no matter what type of motorsports? I ask all my guests this.
For me, I'm an off-road guy, and I prefer off-road. I recently drove sprint cars.
Cool.
The sprint car experience at Paris Auto Speedway, that was epic.
An awesome
You can
program.
go do that, you guys. Yeah, Paris. It's sprintcardrivingexperience.com. You could check that out.
Definitely.
Went and drove it. A few hundred bucks, 20 laps, Chappie. We got to do our next show there live. I will hook it up. It is bad to the bone, but off-roading,
I'll tell you what,
off-road.
I'll tell you what, Willie and I are in on that, and I'm also working with my buddy Frank Baldozier and Corey Cruzman, and I'll match you with that, and we'll go up to Ventura.
Rock and roll. I'm down. And my
We got
favorite
another
driver.
driver. I love it.
All right,
my favorite driver.
continue.
There's nobody that is just more of just stone cold badass. You never know. He's always in the hunt. Short course off road. Rob Mack, the Rockstar Makita driver. He races the Lucas Oil Series. He races Score,
Rob
Mint,
Mack.
and he's
Oh,
always
yeah.
on top. He just won his third in a row. I mean, he's been around longer than anybody. Won more off-road races in the Premier Series. He just recently, in November, won his third consecutive Baja 1000, which is, I mean, that's legendary. No one's ever done that.
How
in a
many
row,
people?
so.
How many people have probably raced 20 of those and haven't finished? I mean, 3 wins. I mean, Rob
Exactly.
Mack. I thought you were going to say Robbie Gordon, but you can't go wrong with that choice.
Right.
Hey,
and on the other side, short course. Short
Sure.
course, if you know that, he races Pro 2 and Pro 4, and he had the last couple-year championship. Barely lost out this last year. So, yeah, pretty crazy what that guy's accomplished, and still charging.
Yeah, we've had DeBerti on the show and a couple of the newcomers that are making their way up the ranks. And I know locally, Rancho Cucamonga, Southern California, we definitely here at Kaotic Motorsports will follow you guys, follow Score, follow Lucas. Dave Arnold's called the show, Ralph Shaheen. So Larry Huffman, Supermouth. And now you join.
Oh, yeah.
You join the great ranks of great racers and great announcers that have called this show. And take a few minutes to thank all the people that help you out and sponsors before I let you go, buddy. And we got to sign off.
Just sponsors-wise, I mean, just people that kind of help me out. I'm working closely with a few people, but yeah, basically, just thank you, man. You're my main guy. Nobody really I need to thank besides you. Thanks for blowing me up. Thanks for having me on your show.
And tell everybody.
Yeah, Monster Energy.
Yeah, tell everybody where they can find you and where to look for Rat Salt in the future in 2017.
Yeah, in 2017, I'm going to be doing some good things. Once again, the Score. You could check out score-international.com. We're going to be working our way up a 4-race series. Our second year, we're going to be racing in Rosarito for the Desert Challenge. Pretty cool short course, but we start lines right on the beach in front of Papa's and Beer. So some big things coming out of Score. I would say that's your number one thing to check out for me. And off-road nights. We're going bigger than ever. We're having They're never going to let me come back to the mall. I promise you guys. I'm going to blow it up. We're going to light things on fire. We're going to burn more rubber.
Can we
the
come down?
The band's going to be louder. More vendors, and all of you guys listening are all going to be there. So
do we have the invite?
It's August 5th.
We're going to combine. Yeah. We're going to combine Kaotic Motorsports Nation with Off-Road Nights. And can we come down? Do we have the official invite right now on the air?
You're in. You're officially in. So
there you go,
definitely
folks.
Let's make it happen. It's going to be big. You guys check it out. Off-Road Nights on Facebook, Instagram. Like the page. Check it out. We got some other crazy things going on, but it's just the whole dirt lifestyle scene and what off-roading of any type is all about. Everybody will be there. So looking forward to seeing the Kaotic crew in the house, dude. We're going to blow it up. We finally made it happen. It'll be our first deal. I want you there. You're in.
I'm glad you called in. I'm glad we finally made the time and had the time in our busy schedules to pull this off. The Axe appreciates you coming on, and I know you got a busy schedule, fabbing and hosting and event organizing and all that. But thanks for taking the time, and I know I'm going to see you behind the microphone or at least at the racetrack. And let's definitely work together. Me, you, and Dave Arnold could kill an off-road show.
Yeah, we are working close with Dave Arnold. Shout out to him. So, yeah, well, let's talk soon, man. Appreciate having me on your show. Stoked. And we'll talk soon. And you're in Off-Road Nights, and I imagine since you asked, I don't have to pay you. So we're in.
August 5th. And we are not on the payroll, and I don't have to pay you for tonight's guest appearance. Thanks, Rat. You are the man. Rat sold everybody.
More than one way.
All right. Thanks, Rat. We'll see you, buddy.
Awesome, you guys. Thanks again. Cheers.
Yep.
Well, Rat sold.
What a guy.
That was good, man.
That was really good.
Can you tell he was an announcer, host, promoter?
Just a little bit.
When you shut Chappie up, you know you're good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's pretty cool, man. That'd be pretty cool to stare up at your fireplace and see an X Games gold medal. Not one, but two.
Hell yeah, dude. That'd be great. That'd
pretty
be fun.
Cool. So, what else? You got anything to wrap it up?
Well, I just want to go to the karting calendar real quick. Tri-C was last weekend with
1 minute. 1 minute to go in the period. Sorry, I was talking in the internet.
So, Tri-C had their race last weekend, and they had
great race.
40-plus L206s in their class.
Yes, and I interviewed Ricky Bobby. Matt Johnson at the end.
That piss excellence.
Every morning he pisses excellence. Matt Johnson. One of my favorite kart drivers.
And Pro Kart is at Button Willow this weekend, and then the LAKC opener, which I will be racing in with my buddy Slaughter for Hodco, is next weekend at California Speedway. So come out to that.
Can I trust you to handle the Pro Kart update? I'm not really affiliated with them. I need some Pro Kart update.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
I don't even think they have announcing there. You ought to go try to get that job. I tried for 10 years. Well, there is one thing. Do you want to take us out? Nothing's for free. I'll tell you what, folks. We're second show back. We're still working out the bugs. If there's something you don't like, give us a call. If there's something you do like, give us a call, and we'll keep doing it. We're working on the great interviews in the future. And I'll tell you what. It's chaoticradio.com, Kaotic Motorsports, every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. with the Axe and Chappie. And listen to all the shows on chaoticradio.com. And we are the fastest show on the internet. Remember, nothing's free. We'll see you next week.
No ass, no gas, no grass, no ride.